Welcome to Headline News 24/7. Please click like and subscribe. Trump just made heartbreaking announcement about Melania after months of attacks. President Donald Trump opened up a bit about his First Lady Melania, and what he said painted a very perfect picture that many people forget about. Not only is she the wife of the President of the United States of America, but she's also a human, and like most other humans, she deals with everyday nonsense just like everyone else. Her status as the First Lady doesn't remove her from the everyday struggle of living life and getting things done, but it has actually intensified it and put even more pressure on her to succeed and perform at the highest level possible. Normal folks like us can mess up and no one really notices, but when she does, everyone finds out. Trump touched on this topic a bit as he talked about Melania and how she deals with the publicity. Much of the publicity is a result of Donald being the president, but it comes with the territory of the job. Trump reminded people of how terrific she is, even while all the nonsense with the press is going on. She's handling it well, it appears, and that's great that she's not buckling under the pressure. Everything from surgery, dealing with rancid celebrity attacks, to protests, and then even Melania pushing back a little bit with her very funny jacket that had a hilarious message on the back and was aimed directly at the mainstream media as her way to troll them and get herself in the news. It was like she knew exactly what she was doing because she knew right away that a photograph of the jacket saying "I really don't care, do you?" would immediately make headlines. She was right. It did. She controlled the press that day, it wasn't the other way around. All she had to do was put on her jacket and immediately she was on the front page of many, many websites. The Daily Mail chimed in with this. President Donald Trump said his wife Melania Trump goes through a lot with all this publicity but lavished praise on the First Lady as a terrific woman who is doing great. But a lot of the publicity Melania Trump goes through is due to her husband's actions, policies, words or tweets. The White House is currently embroiled in the fallout from his former fixer Michael Cohen's guilty pleas in federal court, which included an admission of campaign finance violations tied to payments made to two women who claimed to have affairs with Trump while he was married to Melania. Although she has generated press coverage on her own, usually through her fashion choices, such as the infamous "I really don't care, do you?" jacket she wore during a visit to the US-Mexico border or her pussy bow blouse donned for a presidential debate. Given that the First Lady has given no media interviews she came into the White House, her fashion choices and her public appearances have to speak for her. Trump often lavishes praise on her and brags how she supports him in his work. She is doing great. She's a terrific woman, Trump told Fox News in an interview that aired Thursday morning. She goes through a lot with all this publicity. But she's a terrific woman, she's doing great. He also touts the First Lady's work at his campaign rallies and reassures the crowd she is watching at home. The First Lady has not spoken publicly about the alleged affairs Trump had with porn star Stormy Daniels and former Playboy playmate Karen McDougal, which the president has denied. She has maintained a private presence despite her public role, with the majority of her focus in the White House being on raising her 12-year-old son Barron. She also maintains her own causes, her own agenda, and her own living habits. She and the president are said to have their own bedrooms both in the White House and, when they travel abroad, use separate hotel suites. Melania Trump has made her voice and opinions known through other means, statements via her communication director in the East Wing, promoting her Be Best campaign through carefully orchestrated events, and her fashion choices. And she will make her first, major, solo international trip in October when she visits several countries in Africa. But those events can be overshadowed by her husband. Critics ask how she can focus on cyberbullying when her husband uses social media to lash out at those he sees as against him, and it was noted that her visit to Africa would be to places her husband referred to as shithole countries. One thing to note about this dynamic duo is the level of independence they both have. Donald might be making jokes about a shithole country, but there's Melania actually visiting the country and doing something productive. Donald and Melania complement each other and are having a wild level of success in the White House considering all the hate and nonsense they've received from their opposition. They're setting records, and those are facts that no one can dispute.
That was the news. We thought you might be interested in knowing about this. Please click like and subscribe. Thank you.